everybody, here's a quick video on how to do your science experiment design. I know you're not all doing plants or seeds, but what you are doing is a project and it has the same principles, so watch here.
Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Nielsen here, and I'm doing a quick little science project in my kitchen, and I wanted you to see how to set up your science project. Now I know that not everybody is testing coneflowers or echinacea flowers or using different water additives for their plants, but the same principles apply for any experiment that you're doing. As you can see here, I have my control group, and that's just tap water because that's what we normally water plants with. And then my variable 1 is charcoal filtered water, so it's not tap water, it's taking out some of the dissolved solids. Variable 2 is 100% cranberry juice, and I'm not using 100% cranberry juice in the plant. I'm just going to use a milliliter of 100% cranberry juice that I add to the filtered water. And the last one, it's a little bit hard to see. I'm going to move it up here in the front a little bit. The last one I'm using for variable 3 is green. I'm taking a little bit of green tea and adding it to the tap water. So again, we have our control, tap water, variable 1, charcoal filtered water, variable 2, cranberry added to tap water, and variable 3, green tea added to tap water. And so those are the substances that I'm going to be using to keep the soil moist during my project. Now I'm using seeds. If you use plants, it doesn't have to be moist the whole time, but when you're planting seeds, you have to make sure that the soil or whatever it is that you put inside remains wet, because if the seed coat is not wet, then it won't be able to crack and the seed won't be able to sprout. So here we go. I'm going to follow the directions on the packet. Now I got these little packets at Target in the dollar section, and it says right there, growing directions. And I'm going to read everything off. You can't really read it very well, but I'm going to read everything off the growing directions, do it exactly like the directions say using tap water, because that's my control. Now I'm supposed to take my little pot and I put in 5 milliliters of water, putting in 5 mils of water. This is just tap water. I'm going to put my little pot pellet in there, and it's going to absorb the water, and then it will puff up like it's dirt. And when that happens, I'm going to take my little seed packet and put it in here, and this will be all ready to go. Notice I've labeled the water, I labeled the container, and I probably should put a label on this pot too. I didn't think about that, but that says this is my control pot. So I'm going to come back to that. It's actually turning out quite nicely. That little pellet is turning into just a little pot of dirt. So now I'm going to variable 1. I'm going to set this aside for waiting for the control. I'm going to variable 1. I have the same little pot with the same little directions. I'm going to open that up, take my seed packet out. There's the seed packet. Take my little pot pellet out. It's in there. It should be able to come out. There it is. So there's my little plant potting soil pellet. I'm going to put 5 milliliters of water in there and drop the pellet in and just let it soak. As soon as it absorbs all the water, then I'm going to put the seeds in. So that was for variable 1. Now, I'm going to set aside my directions. I don't need them anymore, but I am going to hang on to this one because the directions that are here are what I'm going to type out on my procedure slide, exactly the way I did it. Okay, so now moving up, hopefully you can still see. Moving up, I'm going to do my variable 2, and this is the plant pellet that I have added a little bit of cranberry juice to the water. I put in 10 mils of water in this cup here, and then 5 mils of cranberry juice. And so I'm going to take out my little pot. I need to just put in 5 mils of my cranberry water mixture, pop in the little pot pellet. And then when that fixes, now notice this one, let's go back and look at this. It's getting nice and full. It's absorbing the water and it's turning into just a little cup of dirt. So now I want to go over to my last one. This is my water with green tea. This is variable 3, my water with green tea. I'm going to take it out of the little package. Don't need the directions anymore. They're all the same. And there's my seed packet. Here's my little potting mix pellet. So first I put in 5 mils of the green tea water mix. Then I'm gonna put in the pellet and let it soak in. Now, I'm actually gonna use a little fork. It doesn't say to use a fork in the directions, but so I'll probably type that in on my directions, but I'm gonna use a little fork. I'm gonna stir it up, so now instead of just being, it's just, look at that. It's all ready to go. It's a pot of dirt. It's a cup of dirt right there. There's a cup and there's dirt in it. So now what I have to do is I have to take the seeds that are in this little first seed packet. Now, for this project, you're supposed to use a minimum of 5 samples. So since I'm testing seeds, I have to put a minimum of 5 seeds. So there's probably more than 5. Let's see how many seeds are there. Yeah, so we're in the package. It looks like I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 seeds. But some of them might be duds. So I'm just gonna put them all in. It says sprinkle them in and then push them down into the soil so that they're just barely covered in the soil, just barely covered, and we'll leave it there. Now the key to this is that you have to put 5 mils of water in every day, because if the soil dries out, then the seed coat will dry out and it won't open for the plant to germinate. So we have to make sure that I keep it moist every day. So this is my little water cup, and I fill that with 5 mils of water, and then I water it every day. So that one's done for today. Now I'm gonna come back over here to my variable 1, and I'm gonna stir that up. It's all ready to go now. It's absorbed the water, and I lost a little dirt there. And I'm gonna put in my next packet of seeds. They're all the same seeds. So you have to keep the sizes the same. You keep the sizes the same, you keep the seeds the same, you keep the pots the same. We call those our independent variables. We don't change anything with that, okay? Now, in this case, the dependent variable, where the thing that the project depends on, I'm just gonna push those inside the soil so they're sticking in the top. You can use your fingers or the fork. The dependent variable in this case is the different type of things that I'm watering. So this is the dependent variable. The experiment depends on all of these. The independent variables are the ones that we have to have, but we're not going to change them. So same amount of water, same type of seed, same type of pot, all of that. So I'm done with variable 1. Now I'm going to come over here to variable 2, and let's see how this pot is doing. Okay, just need to fluff it up a little bit so it can be dirt, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to put the seeds in there. Get out my, as long as it's more than 5, you don't have to count them. You just want to make sure that there's at least 5. And so I'm going to put all the seeds in there. Like I said, they may not all sprout. Some of them sometimes are duds. So just barely cover them at the top, like that. This one's sticking out a little bit too much. And you don't want to stick them too deep because they won't be strong enough to come out of the dirt. So we've got variable 1 with charcoal water. I've got variable 2 with the cranberry water. I've got my control over here, and this is just my regular tap water with nothing added. Now I'm going to my last group over here. My very last group is my green tea group, and this is variable 3. So let me stir this dirt up a little bit. All right, now I get to put the seeds in there. Open up my seed packet and put the seeds inside. Okay, got them all in. I'm just gonna make sure the dirt just barely covers it. Okay, so this is all set up and ready to go. It's all set up and ready to go. So all I'm gonna do now is just let that wait. Okay, here's my plants. I put them in my kitchen window, so they're gonna get the same amount of sun every day, and they're gonna get the same temperature every day because they're all in the same place. I went ahead and labeled the pots so I know which one is variable 1 and which one is variable 2 and which one is the control. So there's the control, and I labeled the water cups. So I'm making sure I'm gonna give everybody exactly what they need and just watch for them to grow.